I always tell the girls, never take it seriously. If you never take it seriously, you never get hurt. If you never get hurt, you always have fun.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll take a look at how women in their 30s struggle with dating and how they complain about ending up alone. If you enjoy this content, leave a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 150,000 subscribers, and with your support, we're going to hit that goal. Share your experience or opinion on these cases in the comments. And without further introduction, let's get started.
I am currently really struggling to understand the universe's plan for me. I don't get it. It's like I have so many wonderful things that I can share with somebody else. And it seems like whenever I even get the tiniest glimpse of hope, just the tiniest, it immediately disappears. Like, oh, I went on a second date with somebody else and connected with them, and I want to try to pursue that. You were great, though. You were great. But I was just second in line, I guess. And every time I say, that's okay, because what's meant for me will find me. I truly believe it. But it's really hard to continue to stay hopeful and positive when just nothing works out. Like nothing. And I'm not going to settle. I don't want to lower my standards or accept less than I deserve because I would rather be alone. But my God, it's so draining. Dating is draining. I just can't keep doing it. So at what point do you just accept being single forever? I don't know.
I don't want to lower my standards or accept less than what I deserve. Lady, you're over 30, you're on the wall. What exactly do you think you deserve? A top 10% millionaire guy chasing after a woman over 35? If you actually lowered your standards for an average man, you probably wouldn't be alone, because you do have suitors. They're just not the ones you want. They're not the winners you imagined. That might have been possible at 22, when you've opened doors effortlessly. But in your 30s, almost 40, it's better to focus on building something with a good man. Instead, you'd rather keep wasting time alone, throwing away what little youth you have left. But hey, sister wants to stay on the wall, and we all know the wall doesn't forgive.
I got these beautiful roses from someone I have been recently seeing, and we went on a couple fun dates, like really nice dates. We went to the gym, like all the nice things, right? He's gotten me 2 bouquets of flowers. Great, right? For all of it to come crumbling down because I took a Snapchat picture of us out at a fancy dinner over the weekend and didn't have him in the photo. He had gotten up to get something, and that's when I took my phone out because I didn't have my phone out during the dinner, with him there, because it's rude. And I took my phone out, took a photo of like the table, and said date night. But apparently it was a problem because he was not in the photo. He said it looked shady that I was trying to potentially get attention from other men because they couldn't see that I was on a date with somebody. That's insane. But yeah, we were arguing about it via text, and then he called me and he was yelling at me and swearing at me. And I was like, no thanks, because up until then, so sweet, so calm, so attentive. And then when that happened, something happened that he didn't like. True colors. The mask fell down, and I was like, wow, this would be the person I would be dealing with in the future, given any kind of conflict or something happens that he doesn't like. No, thank you. So I ran the hell out of there. Blocked him. Cause I'm like, no, I'm sorry. No one's going to yell at me. That's not happening. So, yeah. So maybe you'll feel better about your dating life because I should just do a series because my dating life is literally a joke. So, yeah.
Imagine this. As a man, you put in the effort. Not just because you want her to like you, but because you're trying to live up to her standards. You bring her flowers, plan a date at an expensive restaurant, doing everything to show your best side. But the moment you step away from the table, she pulls out her phone and starts taking pictures. Pictures where you're nowhere to be found. The guy who paid for dinner and brought flowers isn't even in the frame. Why? Because those pictures weren't taken to remember the date. They were for her social media. For the simps flooding her inbox with likes. While you, the one who made the effort, are invisible. And then she wonders why men these days just invite women out for coffee. And the worst part isn't just that she did it. It's that she justified it by saying she was just being polite by not pulling out her phone while you were at the table. Come on. These days, women don't let go of their phones, not even in the bathroom. That excuse is just smoke and mirrors. This man didn't react out of insecurity. He reacted because he saw through the move and didn't like being used. And you know what? He failed by showing emotion. He shouldn't have argued. If I had been in his place, I would have just stood up, paid for my meal, and never texted her again. Because that was pure disrespect.
Women.
I went on a date with an Indian man and it was the worst experience of my life. You won't believe who he invited on our date. So this happened while I was living and dating in New York City, matched with this cute Indian guy on Tinder, very smart, successful, and on a few dates, and in the beginning he was very upfront and straightforward with me, and he told me that he was best friends with one of his exes. He told me that his family was friends with her family and that at one point they tried to set up an arranged marriage with them, but there was just no chemistry or attraction. Usually I'm the jealous type, but I decided to let this go because he was really, really nice. So cut to a couple weeks later, he invites me to go and meet his friends for the first time, which I thought was like a really huge step for us. We were all going to go do karaoke in K-Town. So he reserved a room, I get there, I meet his friends. They all seem very, very nice, and as the evening progresses, something really weird is happening. I notice that one girl in the group is drinking a lot. And as she continues to do so, she's getting more and more emotional. And at one point she starts crying and she storms out of the karaoke room. The guy I'm dating looks at me and says that he needs to go and check on her, so he leaves too. Half an hour goes by and I'm like, okay, this is a little bit weird. They haven't come back yet. So I leave the karaoke room, I head down the hallway, and I see that there is an empty karaoke room where both of them are sitting. She is bawling her eyes out and he has his arm around her and he's consoling her. I pop my head in and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Did anyone pass away? He like shoos me away and says, everything's fine. Like she just had a really rough day. I'm trying to help her. So I then leave, and after waiting like another half hour, 45 minutes, I'm like, I'm done with this. So I take my things and I go. I send him a text message saying that that was extremely rude. And then he has the audacity to text me back and tell me that is actually his ex-girlfriend. She was just really upset and caught off guard because she wasn't expecting to meet me that night. So then he tells me he wants to make it up to me by taking me out for dinner, to which I'm like, no thank you, sir. Never went on to speak or hang out again, but I do still follow him on social media. Don't know what his relationship status is, but I do see his ex-girlfriend in a lot of his photos. That experience left such a bad taste in my mouth that I actually stayed away from dating Indian men after that. Let me know what you guys think. Like, is this normal? Did I overreact?
It's funny because it's true.
Brothers, Chads operate on a whole different level. This guy clearly wasn't that into the new girl, and yet he took her out on the exact day he knew his ex would be there. That wasn't a coincidence. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's probably one of those men who brings all his girlfriends into the same friend group because he doesn't break up, he archives. And yeah, the ex had an emotional meltdown, mission accomplished. He knew a scene like that would stir up old feelings. And it did, big time. This was pure jealousy strategy. And it worked. The new girl faded into the background, used as a tool. Cruel? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. That night, the ex didn't sleep alone. He made his move, direct, no hesitation, no asking for permission. And while many will judge him, let's not forget something. That's the type of man they choose. Not the good guy, not the predictable one, but the one who takes her on an emotional roller coaster. The Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table.
Dating as a bigger girl is hard, and it's even harder to explain to people because you really don't get it unless you've lived it. I felt this way my whole life, especially when it comes to talking about dating with like friends and family. It can be like difficult to explain, and it's also something like you don't want to explain at the same time. It can feel like uncomfortable or embarrassing. It's that feeling whenever you're catching up with your friends and they're sharing stories about recent dates they've been on, but you haven't been on any because you only get asked to go to a guy's house. It's that feeling whenever you go out with your friends and guys talk to them and you just kind of stand by the side and sip on your drink. It's that feeling when you're meeting up with someone from a dating app and you're worried that they don't realize that you are bigger, even though you have full body photos on your profile. It's that feeling in high school whenever everyone is asked to the homecoming or the prom and you're the only one without a date. It's that feeling whenever you like a guy and you see what his ex-girlfriend looks like and all the other girls he follows on Instagram, and you know you look nothing like them. It's that feeling when you have to decipher, are they really attracted to me or is it like a fetish? Which I'm pretty sure I got that recently, so... It's the feeling when the conversation turns sexual in 0.2 seconds because guys think we'll just settle for any sort of attention. It's whenever you're out at a bar with your friends and you guys are all interested in the same guy and you feel the need to back down because you feel like you don't even have a chance to begin with. It's that feeling whenever you're out with your group of friends and you're approached by a group of guys and you know that you're not the reason the guys approached. It's the guys who are actually attracted to you and do like you but would never take you in public and never date you. And yeah, that is what it feels like dating as a bigger girl. All right, I love you guys. Bye.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Pure victimhood. Just like she says herself, all overweight. And yet she still has a better shot at finding a partner than 40% of men out there. Brother, there are guys who've spent years on dating apps without getting a single like, not even from a fake profile. But she wants us to feel sorry for her over something that actually has a solution: diet and exercise. That's not cruelty, it's reality. There are things you can change, and if you choose not to, at least don't play the victim. What about the man who gets rejected just for being short? Or the one who doesn't have the looks or the money? Nobody's out there making emotional videos on his behalf. Because for many women, the standard is crystal clear. The apocalypse 666, 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, and 6-figure salary. The 666 from hell. There's no room for empathy when it comes to that. But when a woman feels rejected, the whole world's supposed to stop. No, what you're going through isn't worse than what the average overweight man faces every single day. He just doesn't record himself complaining about it.
Why am I not interested in going out and meeting a man? Well, let me tell you, I went out about a month ago with one of my really good friends. We were with his friend group. There was a guy that joined from this friend group. Let's call him Steve. Steve and I get talking and he buys me a drink and I said, "Thank you, Steve. This is lovely." And I stood there with him and I chatted with him for a while. Most of our conversation was him interrupting me to go, "Has anybody ever told you how beautiful your eyes are?" Very weird, super uncomfortable, but I thought, hey, maybe he's a bit nervous. Maybe I'll give him the time of day. Never give a man the time of day. At one point, we decided to go upstairs, go to the other little bar, and then come back downstairs. On our way coming back downstairs, someone was walking past me, looked a bit nervous, like they weren't with anybody, looked, I didn't assume queer. I know I shouldn't do that, but I think this man was gay. Because I was feeling fun and crazy, I decided to be the nice person in the room because I don't like being in a room where I can see someone is left out. I very gently walked past him, made a nice little comment just to give him someone to talk to for a second because Steve was trailing far behind me. I said something nice like, "I like your shirt," or something like that. I can see the relief in this man's face. He automatically starts his conversation with me. He's like, "I'm just looking for my friend." We get into a conversation about where he's from. He's so lovely. We start talking about the queer community. After about a minute of talking to this guy, I notice Steve is nowhere to be found. I turn around and Steve is stood far away from me, pretty far. Like, he saw me talking to someone else, and instead of coming up and joining the conversation, he stood there like an angry little rat in the corner, and he watched me talk to the new prospect. When I decided to quickly wrap up this conversation with this new, lovely, presumably gay gentleman, Steve beelines to me, comes up to me after knowing me for probably, maybe an hour, and he goes, "I didn't like that. I didn't like that." And I went, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I'm with you. I'm with you. I've bought you a few drinks at this. I'm with you. You're with me, and you're talking to some other guy. And I was like, first of all, he's gay. Second of all, I was trying to be nice. Third of all, you were way behind me. I was just stepping in. That's fine. Also, you don't own me. What do you mean? I cannot deal with this, like, ownership thing that so many men push onto women, especially if they feel like they've bought them a few drinks and now it's like they've locked them in for the night. How are you gonna go out in public with a bunch of strangers, meet someone and talk to them, and then the moment this stranger that you don't know talks to someone else, be like, I don't fucking like that? I should mention as well that everybody in this friend group was saying, oh, Steve is the best. Steve's the best dude around. Oh, he's so cool. He's so funny. Oh, don't worry about him. He's going to be great. You're going to have the best time. So the whole time I was like, do I go away from him or do I keep talking to him? Because everyone's saying that he's amazing, but it was like the worst. It was the worst night.
I have to say, Steve has a solid group of friends who were actually trying to help him score. Steve's real problem was forgetting that staying calm in certain situations is the smartest move. She was right. He's not her owner. He came across as desperate, and a man who shows too much hunger doesn't get to eat. The idea that just because he bought her a drink, she owes him her full attention for the rest of the night. That's just over the top. If he had taken a moment to assess the situation, talked to her, asked, "Is he a friend of yours?" he might have found out who the guy was. She said he's a gentleman and gay, but he could have been her brother, cousin, or just a friend. The point is, Steve didn't know anything about this woman, so he couldn't know who she might talk to. If you don't like what you see or don't like her answer, don't get mad, just walk away. There's no need to ruin your night or your friend's night over a woman you met just a few hours ago. To me, Steve acted desperate. Personally, I trust myself, and I would have handled it differently. What do you guys think? We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do you think the first woman is failing at dating? Do you think the guy who invited the girl to the restaurant acted the right way or not? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.